All right, these are the exact questions that we did in class today. I just wanted to make sure that you saw these again. So here we have 2 minus 3. You can see it right over here. Well, remember, whenever you see that subtraction, really what's going on there is you're adding the opposite. So I wrote it back. I said instead of 2 minus 3, it's 2 plus the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. So 2, add the opposite. Add the opposite. All right. So what we did today in class is we said 2 positive. Here's our positives. 3 negatives. We zero out. A positive plus a negative gives you 0, so that's why there's big zeros around those. And what is left? Sorry, let's not zero that part. What's left is in the green box. And so the answer to this is negative 1. Same thing here. We put it with colored counters. We've got positive, 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 positive 5. We've got negative, negative, negative. A positive and a negative makes 0. 1 positive, 1 negative makes 0. 1 positive, 1 negative makes 0. And you've got 2 positive for your answer. All right. Here we've got minus, right? Whenever you see minus, you need to rewrite it. Add the opposite. So 4, then you add, well, what's the opposite of negative 8? Positive 8. Well, 4 plus 8 we know how to do. It's just 4 plus 8. 12. All right, here we've got our negative 6 and our 2 positive. Okay, we zero pair. A positive and a negative give you 0. 1 positive, 1 negative give you 0. And so what's left? 4 negative. So your answer is negative 4. Same thing here. We've got negative 10 minus negative 2. Add the opposite when you see subtraction. So it's negative 10, you keep that, and then you're going to add, well, what's the opposite of negative 2? Positive 2. Now we've got your negative 10s, and then you've got your positive 2. You got your 0 pairs, a positive and a negative give you 0, and so your answer is what's left, which is negative 8. All right, we're going to skip that one and go ahead and go with this one, because these are the ones that you actually did in class. So this one here, remember, when you see subtraction, you need to add the opposite. So you keep the 4, and you add, what is the opposite of 6? Negative 6. Okay? Add the opposite. If you don't like that, you can always just, whenever you see a subtraction sign, put it as a plus sign and put a negative, or in the next case, oh no, in this case back here, put a plus sign and then another plus sign. 2 negatives make a positive. Okay? So add the opposite. So we add the opposite, so that tells us we've got positive 4 and negative 6. There's our positive 4 and negative 6. And we have 0 pairs, 0, 0, 0, and 0. And so our answer is negative 2. All right, these are ways that you can add and subtract integers. Well, we also learned how to do it on a number line. Okay? Here, you always are going to start at 0. So as you can see, here's 0. So I start at 0. So here's where I started. Well, I went to the right all the way to 7. So what that is that's positive 7. Okay? Positive 7. Then I went to the left. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. So if you go to the left, left is negative, right is positive on a number line. So since I went to the left, that's minus 11. Or you can write it 7 plus negative 11. Okay? So here is we have a diagram or a picture of an integer problem, and we need to write it underneath. All right? Now here we've got 2 plus negative 8. So I start at 0. I'm always going to start at 0 when I do these. And 1, 2 in the positive direction because it's a positive 2. And then I'm at 2, and I need to go to negative 8. Well, negative is in the left side, so I need to make sure I go left when I have negatives. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the answer to this is negative 6. Okay? You can do it on a number line 2 different ways. You can do it like this, where you start at 0 and you do lines underneath, and then a second line for the second part of your equation. Or you can do it with the nice little, hey, I'm going to move, I'm going to move, I'm going to move. Okay? All right. So we learned on a number line. We learned with counters, or just positive and negative. Each counter is 1. Okay? So here's your homework for tonight. You've got 3 questions that you need to write and put on a number line. Have each one on separate number lines. You can do it with the bumps by counting up, and then if you have negatives, you need to go in the negative direction. Or you can do it with the lines above or below your number line. Okay? Then you've got the counters. For these, you need to have counters, positive and negative counters. So you need to make sure that you have a picture that has positive and negative counters for these questions. On these questions, I want the picture and the answer. Okay? The picture and the answer. All right.